Let me just say this, because you guys are all here because you're passionate about music. That's my guess. And we're all guys in the music business who've had some level of success. And I just want to say that, we've been talking about money a lot up here. We've been talking about the economics of the business, how you can make money, how you should protect your money, how you should protect yourself from other people taking your money. If you are interested in money, go be a financial trader or something. Don't go in the music business. And I can say for myself, and I got into the music business in 1980 when I was 17 years old, right? But money was the farthest thing from my mind. I never cared about money then, even though I have it now. I don't give a shit about money now. I love music. I've loved music from my earliest memory. I've loved music. And I would guess that not a single one of us up here got into the music business for money. And anyone who's thinking that's why they want to get into the music business, really bad move. You can make a lot of money in the music business, but there are just terrible odds, But the thing is, you can have a rich life. If you're passionate about music and you go into the music business, you can have a very rich, rewarding life. But you have to go into it saying, I'm going into the music business because I love music, and I'm going to do everything I can to scratch my way to just do what I love. I mean, when I started music, I had 3 different jobs, and I was doing music. So
you also picked a type of music where there was no way to become commercially successful.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And then something happened. But the truth is, great things can happen. You can, serendipity does happen. The dream can come true. But if you're here kind of cynically exploring the music business as a sound choice for your economic future, just the exit's right there.
Fame goes along with that too, because if you're here to get famous, if you're doing that goes along with money, it's the wrong reason as well.
But it's a great life, and you can make a good living, but it's not, don't get into it for the wrong reasons.
I think Fletcher, for me, he summed it up when we were doing an interview last year, and we were sitting there at the end of the summer, and we were talking, and they were doing this thing, and he goes, Kevin, you created the way for us to be kids for the rest of our lives, 2 months a year. And we get to do what we love. We're out there working. 90% of my decisions, and it's forced to make it over money now sometimes, but 90% of my decisions are still to keep my scene and be part of the scene that I grew up in. And I'm lucky to have got to make a living like you do. We all have houses, we get to have kids, and we have responsibilities, but 90%, and then there's other things now that I'm doing that sometimes I question, it's not my heart and soul, but punk was, and now I'm doing stuff in the music business where I'm going, kind of sucks that I think I'm bringing something to the table that I wish they had, and then it sits there at the end of the night where they're going, well, how much money are we going to make? And I go, you can't go into this every day thinking how much money you're going to make. Don't.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like making money. There's nothing wrong with making money, Yeah, I'm not a socialist, I got a record company. I'm just saying, you do this because, if you want to do this, do it because you're passionate about music. And then no matter what happens, you're going to come out a winner,
And one thing I want to add is, I got really confused and caught up, from, listening to Bad Religion and stuff, and, no, that wasn't what confused me. There were these bands that I grew up listening to when things, like you were saying, were sort of simpler, and then something happened, and, punk and sort of, subversive rock and roll became, the forefront. And, Blink, I grew up, I was just, it was confusing for me personally, and I think it must be really confusing for people growing up now when it's so blurred, and it's just I think like you were saying, there's a clear-cut line between wanting to be famous and wanting to like Tom says, when you go out there and you hear people cheer and they there's something amazing about it when you can look into a kid's eyes and you genuinely affect them. And even on a mass level, when I go out, now we're playing bigger shows, and when I go out and I see a ton of people jumping up and down and singing along to my music, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. So if your drive to do something big and cool isn't a bad thing. So don't let anyone tell you that. You know what I mean? Because Bad Religion and Blink became huge bands, and they didn't stop themselves. And originally I had a whole conflict of, man, I want to do something like The Who, but then I also listen to punk rock bands, and so it's okay to want to do something big with your life, but there's a difference between wanting to make money and be famous and wanting to do something larger than life that affects people a lot.
And I hope that everybody here in this room does something big with their lives too. So on behalf of everybody at Guitar Center and everybody on this stage, thanks for coming.